Two bounty hunters come upon a small group nestled around a campfire, making small talk. The Grunt brothers amble into the clearing.
Hello, the camp. We be the Grunts, Slim and Roll. We smelled your coffee and wondered if you'd be of a mind to share.
Yeah, right. You sweet Norton.
You'll have to excuse my brother. His voice is frogged. When he was a sprout, Mother washed out his mouth with lye for swearing, so I help him out when folks can't understand him.
I am Nathaniel. Folks call me Nat. This is my wife Nell, and my brother Flyven. He goes by Fly. We are the Von Twistles. This is Mrs. Rain and her guide Link Skid. We are bound for California in search of gold.
So you're telling me your folks named you Fly and Nat? Oh, by Kevin, that cleans the plow. He's a real ruby in a goat's butt.
I'm guiding Miss Rain to Sacramento to secure land grants issued by the King of Spain. Good morning, gentlemen. We're happy to share our camp with you and perhaps a bit of food. What is your business in this region? Miss Rain, we don't ask men their business in this country. We let sleeping dogs lie. You're welcome to some coffee and maybe a bean or two, and then you'll have to be moving on.
He's right. Asking folks their business isn't polite, but since you're curious and willing to share your pot, we're looking for a man goes by the name of Crooked Tooth Pete.
What you want to intervene, kid? You got there so.
What in tarnation did he say?
He said this Pete feller goes by several aliases: Bad Tooth Tex, Rotten Pete, Pete the Poser, and down in the Panhandle they call him Spoon on account of he can't chew steak.
What did this man do?
There you go again, putting your nose in people's business where it don't belong.
What did he say?
He said he agrees, but since you're being neighborly, I can tell you this: the Tooth, or Spoon as we call him, is not to be taken lightly. He is wanted in 2 states for robbery and arson. He supposedly burned down a tonsorial parlor and pistol whipped the proprietor for making sport of his tooth.
Oh my gracious, the coward.
There's more. He's wanted for wife stealing and sheep rustling in Cuckold County. He's a dangerous man not to be trifled with. They say there's no mistaking him. A single rotten tooth hangs down below his whiskers, and when nervous, he tries to whistle Dixie. You men keep a close eye on your women folk. Shoot first, sniff later. I tell you, boy, we sleep with one eye open this night. We will take turn watching camp.
I'm sure this rotten tooth fellow is nowhere near our camp. He is most likely holed up in a town looking for his next truffle, and besides, we outnumber him.
There you go, calling the turn again. We don't cotton to speak-ups in this neck of the woods.
No, this is all right.
Royal stomps the ground and nearly throws his hat in the dirt. He gargles some words and starts doing sign language towards Slim until he can manage to calm himself. What did he say?
He agrees and reminded me he cut sign of the Tooth within a mile of your camp.
Dear God, we'll be murdered in our sleep. We should ride on and distance ourselves from this fellow. Look, I'm guiding this party and have been paid handsomely to get you to Sacramento. I ain't no shirker. If this tooth fellow wants to play, I will deal in lead.
So, you're a pistolero?
He pulls his gun out and starts doing gun tricks. While twirling his pistol, it flies from his hand and lands in the pot of beans hanging over the fire. Everyone just stares at the pot. Royal goes over to retrieve the gun from the pot. As skilled as you are, we are quite able to handle our own affairs.
It's this dad-blasted finger.
He holds up his hand to reveal a bent index finger.
Pa broke it when I was a young'un for finger noodling. Occasionally it gives way, and as you can see the result. Roll, you're gonna have to pull it.
The onlookers are aghast. As Royal circles Slim like a buzzard at a gut wagon. He places his foot against his thigh and gives it a big jerk. Slim hops around in little circles until he can gain his composure. Now that we have witnessed your prowess with a gun, let's ready the pot and have some coffee. Nell, you make some biscuits. I'm sure the grunts are hungry. Fly, you get some wood.
Pardon me for asking. Are you sure you all can spare food? You don't appear like you've been eating regular. Now, we got some jerky and hardtack to throw in, if your camp supplies are light.
We're fine. Game has been a little scarce, that's all. Too scarce for a seasoned guide such as yourself. Nat brings wood to the fire and builds it up. Nell and Fly stir the beans and ready the coffee. Carla seats herself near the fire with the grunts. How long have you grunts been trailing this Spoon fellow?
For nigh on 2 weeks. We hadn't got a good whiff of 'em till this morning. Royal spotted a rotten apple with tooth marks around the edge like a squirrel or rabbit had been at it.
Perhaps it was an animal. Of course, that does not explain where the apple came from. Royal goes into massive hieroglyphic sign and hand language.
Now, ma'am, you got...
Wait. I believe I understood him. She looks to Royal. Are you saying that based on the age of the apple and the lack of game in these parts, that Rotten Tooth discarded the apple because it was too difficult to eat? Now that's a first. Why? Because I figured out his words?
No, it's because you're the first to let Royal grunt stand alone. Most of his life, he's had to rely on me to speak for him, until now. We've been called everything from grit lickers to tramps, hobos, and bums.
Let me see. Father used to say, a tramp travels to find work, a hobo only works when he has to, and a bum never works at all. So clearly, you're not bums.
Why, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. That's a privilege and an honor.
The coffee is ready and the beans are hot through. These biscuits look ready and good for cooking with middling meat.
What'd y'all use for meat? Tree bark? I'd seen so much as a squirrel.
Nell pours the coffee while Nat spoons out the beans to the grunts. As the grunts begin to eat, the rest of the party slowly moves around behind them.
This sure is larpin'.
While chewing his beans, he bites down on something hard and reaches into his mouth and pulls out what appears to be a rotten tooth. He holds it up to the light so Royal can see. They each look at each other and look at the tooth with disgust, which evolves into fear. Yes, game sure is scarce in these parts.